Hi there, this is Andy Rowe from Kaizen DC, helping you to become the practitioner that you want to be. This is post number 6 and it's called Traveling Back in Time for a Second. I'm reading this book by Roger Neighbour at the moment. It's called Consulting in a Nutshell. It's his latest book, and he's renowned in the world of general practice for knowing all about consultation styles. And it was his book published in 1992, The Inner Consultation, that I really recommend to you. It was massively influential on my consulting style through my years of practice. So I'd really recommend that. And I was looking at this book on my shelf just the other day, and it reminded me of an observation I did of one of my colleagues many years ago. We thought that it would be a good idea if I were to observe her do a consultation with a new patient and give her a bit of feedback about how she was getting on. So she was seeing a new patient, having a chat with him, asking him questions about his problems and his medical past and so on. I was in the room just observing, making one or two notes. She was developing good rapport with him. It was excellent. She sort of covered all the bases, and I thought she was doing great. She then asked him to remove his shirt so that she could examine him, and as he started to get up to change, she turned to her computer and started to type some notes from the consultation. And as he took his shirt off, I could see that there was loads of scarring on his torso where he'd been burnt from some fat having been spilt on him as a child. He had mentioned it during the consultation, so it wasn't a surprise, but it was a shock because it was so extensive. So I was quite horrified about what I saw. And bear in mind that the injury obviously had happened decades ago. So this was healed scarring. And it was bizarre because as he took his shirt off, he looked me straight in the eye, and I felt I could see his face change from being an older man to a young boy, and I could see the pain of the injury on his face. As I looked into his eyes, I could see into his soul. I could see this wounded boy, horrified at what had happened, scared and in pain, worried about whether he was going to get better or not, and embarrassed about the outcome of what had happened, this scarring, extensive scarring on his torso. Perhaps the taunting that he had endured during his days of school, getting changed for PE, the taunting from his classmates. Perhaps the fear of being rejected by potential lovers, the fear of being alone. And all this happened in really just a second, and it was incredible. And then suddenly it was gone. His face changed. He turned back into the person that had come into the room and had the consultation. It was like he put on a suit of armour, and I couldn't see into his soul anymore. I'd got this glimpse. I'd been very privileged to see his past. I'd travelled back in time and seen what had happened. He didn't say anything to me as he took his shirt off, but his look on his face and looking into his eyes gave me a whole load of information I really wasn't expecting to see. My colleague, meantime, was typing on her computer, unaware of this, and her consultation had been absolutely flawless. She examined him. She wasn't fazed by the scarring at all, and she explained, what she felt was going on and what the most appropriate treatment to proceed with would be. And, you couldn't fault it at all, but I was absolutely privileged to get this glimpse into his life. I travelled back in time with him for just a second, and my colleague didn't get that because she was attending to writing her notes, as so many of us do. And she just didn't get that, and it was not something you could falter on, but it just made me think about how sometimes we can travel back in time when people either look at us or we get a sense from what they're saying or the expression that's on their face or their body language. Time travel is a wonderful thing, and we don't always get it by doing the right consultation questions. Sometimes it happens when we see them walking down the corridor. Sometimes it happens when they look at us. It can happen in all sorts of unexpected places. So I thought you'd like that story. Thanks a lot. Look forward to chatting to you soon. Bye for now.